The rain was cold enough to sting. It slid down my neck, soaked through silk, pulled at my feet like punishment. White chairs, white roses, white smiles. I was the only one shivering, the only one placed outside the tent. No umbrella, no explanation. My mother wouldn't look at me. My father stood stiff, jaw locked, pretending this was normal, pretending I deserved it. I remember thinking, this isn't an accident. Then my sister turned around. She was glowing, lace, pearls, power. She smiled like she'd already won, walked straight toward me, heels sinking into wet grass, lifted a glass and poured red wine down my chest. It spread like blood. She leaned close enough for me to smell champagne on her breath and whispered, "Don't drip on the ceremony. Dirt." Laughter rippled behind her. I didn't move. I didn't scream. I just looked up at the aisle and saw my husband stepping out of a black car. That was when everything changed. I'd always been the extra child, not the favorite, not the problem, just the one who learned early to stay quiet and useful. My sister Eleanor was the sun. I orbited. My parents built their lives around her moods, her needs, her ambitions. I married out of that gravity. Caleb wasn't flashy. He was composed, surgical, the kind of man who listened more than he spoke and remembered everything. He wore tailored suits and calm like armor. My parents smiled at him, but never respected him. They thought he was mine. That meant lesser. The wedding invitation came with conditions. "Sit where you're told," my mother said. "Don't draw attention," my father added. Eleanor smiled and said nothing. The seat assignment placed me outside the tent. "Overflow," they said, in the rain. I wore the dress anyway, pale blue, modest, dry when I arrived, not for long. There had been signs before that day. The way Eleanor flinched when Caleb asked about her fiancé's job, the way my parents shut down conversations whenever I mentioned the company Caleb ran, the way Eleanor's fiancé, Mark, avoided eye contact with me after learning my last name had changed. I thought it was jealousy. I thought it was insecurity. I thought wrong. The rain masked my shaking hands as Eleanor walked away. I could feel eyes on me, pity, amusement, judgment. I stood slowly, wine dripping from my sleeves. Then I heard Caleb's voice, low, even dangerous in its restraint. "Why is my wife sitting in the rain?" Silence spread like oil. My mother rushed forward. "Caleb, this is a misunderstanding." He didn't look at her. He looked at Eleanor, then at Mark, and smiled. The ceremony continued, because of course it did. My parents insisted. Eleanor insisted. They believed control was permanent. I didn't. I watched. Mark's smile twitched when Caleb took a call during the vows. I saw the sweat at his hairline, the way his best man leaned in too close, the way Eleanor's grip tightened around her bouquet. Caleb didn't interrupt, not yet. He sat beside me in the rain, placed his jacket around my shoulders and whispered, "Are you ready?" I nodded. I'd been ready my whole life. The reception was indoors, white tablecloths, crystal apologies that sounded rehearsed. Eleanor avoided me. My parents pretended nothing happened. Then Caleb stood. He didn't raise his voice. "I'd like to congratulate the bride and groom," he said, "and thank them for the hospitality." Mark relaxed. Eleanor smiled. "Before tonight," Caleb continued, "I was unaware that my company employed someone so creative with their art." Mark froze. Caleb tapped his phone. The screens behind the DJ booth lit up. Emails, contracts, false credentials, a fake MBA, forged references, a shell company laundering funds, my company's funds. Mark staggered back. Caleb's voice remained calm. "You were terminated this morning for fraud, embezzlement, and breach of contract." The room erupted. Eleanor screamed. My father demanded explanations. My mother cried. Caleb didn't stop. "The officers are waiting outside," he said. "I thought it polite to let the wedding finish first." Police lights washed the windows blue. Mark collapsed. Eleanor turned on me like an animal. "You knew," she hissed. "You set this up." I met her eyes. Calm, dry now. "I said you did." She slapped me. The room gasped. Caleb didn't intervene. The officer did. The truth came out in fragments. Eleanor had pushed Mark toward my husband's company, fed him information, used my family name to gain access. My parents had known. They believed Mark's promotion would elevate all of them. I was collateral, expendable. They thought humiliation would keep me small, keep me silent. They forgot who I married. The fallout was precise. Mark took a plea deal. Eleanor lost everything: status, marriage, inheritance. My parents tried to call, then apologize, then beg. I didn't answer. Caleb and I left the city that night, rain washing the streets clean behind us. Sometimes I think about the wine, how red it was, how deliberate, how she leaned in to call me dirt. I think about the moment her world collapsed, not from rage, but from inevitability. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need revenge soaked in blood. I needed truth, timing, and patience. I learned that silence isn't weakness, it's a loaded weapon, and when it finally speaks, everything falls exactly where it should.